Then by the time he's 12, his uncle Abu Talib's goats he's looking after. This is the beginning. Smallness of means. No political party to back him up. No royalty to back him up. It's one man against all men. One man against the whole world. Nobody. His own people were not prepared to receive his message. From the word go, trials and tribulations, you know his history. Smallness of means and outstanding results. Today, 1,000 million Muslims. Christianity boasts 1,200 million. But they had 600 years they were ahead of us. But an American, in his book The Messenger, Bodley in his book The Messenger, he says that there are more professing Christians in the world than professing Muslims. Professing means people who fill census forms. So what religion you belong to? Even if he's an atheist, he will say Christian. He won't say Jew because he's not a Jew. He won't say Hindu because he's not a Hindu. He will say Christian. You know, coming from a Christian background, he says Christian. So from that point of view, there are more Christians in the world today. There are more professing, people who say with the lips, there are more professing Christians than professing Muslims. But there are more practicing Muslims in the world than practicing Christians, people who practice the religion. Alhamdulillah. There are more Muslims who practice. We have our shortcomings. But as a people as a whole, there are more practicing Muslims in the world today than practicing Christians. This is what Bodley says in his book, The Messenger. Outstanding results are the three criteria of human genius. So who could dare to compare any great man in modern history with Muhammad? He dares. Bring your candidate. Any man, bring him. Compare with this man Muhammad. Who could dare to compare? He is daring you. Bring yours to compare with this man. This is the most famous men, talking about others, created armies, laws and empires only. They founded, if anything at all, no more than material powers, which often crumbled away before their eyes, like Hitler's power. Crumbled away before his own eyes. Mussolini's power crumbled away before his eyes. Mikado's Japan crumbled away before his very eyes. Crumbled away before their eyes. This man Muhammad moved not only armies, legislations, empires, peoples and dynasties, but millions of men. And more than that, he moved the gods of the people, he moved them out of the way. The gods, the religions, the ideas, the beliefs, and the souls. And he ends his beautiful tribute by saying, philosopher, orator, apostle, legislator, warrior, conqueror of ideas, the restorer of rational beliefs, of a cult without images, the founder of 20 terrestrial empires and of one spiritual empire. That is Muhammad. That is Muhammad. With regards all standards whereby human greatness may be measured, we may well ask, is there any man greater than he? Is there? The answer is in the question. The answer is in the question he's asking. In other words, he's saying, no man greater than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The greatest man that ever lived was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm asking, who bribed Lamadin? Who bribed him? Which Arab? The whole Muslim world was down in the gutters. In 1854, the whole Muslim world, except for 3 or 4 Muslim countries nominally independent, every Muslim nation was under subjugation. India was under the British. Indonesia was under the Dutch. Malaysia was under the British. Nigeria was under the British. Mozambique, a Muslim country, Mozambique, was by the Portuguese. It's a Muslim country, do you know that? Even today, 60% of the people are Muslims. You see, when the Portuguese took over with the superior gunpowder, the white man is very ingenious. The Chinese were playing with this sulfur, playing fireworks. The white man, when he came across that, he turned it into a devilish thing. He used it as gunpowder. And he knocked hells into everybody. He robbed my people in my country, he robbed them. India, 150 years they ruled us. They ruled about 150 years in Malaysia, 300 years in Indonesia, 500 years in Mozambique. It was a Muslim country. The governor was Musa bin Baik. An Arab governor, Musa bin Baik. The Portuguese couldn't say Musa bin Baik, so it's a Mozambique. It was our land. These Westerners can't say Jabal ut-Tariq, so it's a Gibraltar. Gibraltar is Muslim. Jabal ut-Tariq, the man who crossed into Spain from Africa, Muslim, the first Muslim conqueror of Spain, his name was Jabal at-Tariq. So Jabal means a mountain of Tariq. So they can't say Jabal ut-Tariq, they say Gibraltar. Ma'manillah, Ma'manullah. They can't say Ma'manullah, they say Manila. Muslim names. So, he said, is there any man greater than he? And the answer is in the question, no man greater than Muhammad. The greatest man that ever lived is Muhammad. Who bribed him? I said, you tell me. Who bribed him? Which Arab? But prejudices die hard, very hard. Prejudices die hard. Now this is with regards to the testimonies and tributes paid by worldly men. Now let us seek another standard, a religious standard. And who can we find better than Jesus Christ to give us a standard of judging? Let's go to Jesus. In the Gospel of St. John, chapter 5, verse 36. Those of you who have Bibles, open them and check it out. John chapter 5, verse 36. Jesus Christ is speaking about greatness. He's comparing himself with John the Baptist. John the Baptist, we call him Yahya alayhi salam. And about Yahya alayhi salam, Jesus had made certain statements, very flattering statements he had made about Yahya, John the Baptist. He had said, among those born of women, there has not been another greater than John the Baptist. The greatest man that ever lived among the Jews, the prophets, was John the Baptist, Jesus said. But now he says that he is greater than John. Among those born of women, the greatest man was John the Baptist, Yahya alayhi salam. That's his testimony. He had performed no miracles, remember, not one. But according to Jesus, the greatest man among the Jews, Jewish prophets, greater than Moses, David, Solomon, Ezekiel, Elijah, a whole lot put together, John the Baptist, according to Jesus. Now he says, John 5:36, he says, my witness, my shahada, is greater than that of John the Baptist, not his disciple. He had a disciple called John, he had another disciple called John, he had a number of disciples. These were very common names. Jesus was a common name, John was a common name among the Jews, like Tom, Dick and Harry among us today. Or we have Muhammad, Ahmad and Suleiman and Dawood, same. They were Jesuses by the tons and they're Johns by the tons. But he's talking about Yahya alayhi salam, John the Baptist. He said, my witness is greater than John, for the works the Father has given me to finish. For that reason, what God wanted him to do, that work is greater than what John was supposed to do. John, Yahya alayhi salam, was only to prepare the way for the coming of Jesus. He was the forerunner of Jesus. So as that, he's very great. But now I am greater than him. Why? Because the work that God has given me to finish. So the standard of judging is, what work are you out to do? What is your mission in life? That shows how great one is, comparing one with the other, according to the standard given by Jesus Christ. Well, we know about his mission. He came, as I was telling you all last night, he came only for the Jews. Only for the Jews. Again and again, he said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He is telling his disciples, go ye not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go ye rather unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, that he had chosen one little tribe out of the thousands of tribes of the world. One little community, the children of Israel, and the lost sheep he was looking for. That was his job. And that makes him greater than John. And in John chapter 17, verse 3 and 4, he finished his mission. That's what he says. I want the Christians to come and tell me whether finish means finished. First is for what the Father had given me to finish. Now, he tells us in John 17 verses 3 and 4 that he finished the job long before his alleged crucifixion, long before. When there was nothing about the crucifixion, he said his job is finished. Listen. And this is life eternal, Jesus says. And this is life eternal, that they should know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ whom thou hast sent. This is like saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Isa Rasulullah. This is it. This is life eternal. If you accept that, salvation is yours. That's what he says.